Good morning, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Friday morning, May 8th. And we're looking at the top of the past 3 days of the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And what you're seeing is basically a total disconnect from the economy, the stock market. I think before we speak, because a lot of people in my trading room, a lot of things you see on Twitter and talk to your friends and neighbors, and they just can't believe where the stock market's trading. And look, this is what we have to look at as far as traders ourselves. We're not investors. For the most part, to me, earnings don't matter. What analysts say don't matter. What economists say don't matter, because there's absolutely no correlation between any of these and the stock market these days. So we have to look at and focus exactly what's in front of us and what the market's telling us to trade. Here we are, it's 8:27, 3 minutes before another job number is going to come out to say God knows how many Americans are out of work, and we're looking to gap higher. So the disconnect is real. To me, what's happening? Well, this is how I put it. We are in a 3-day balance that's part of a bigger 20-day balance. Right now, the buyers are attempting to come out of a 3-day balance to the upside, right? We tried it yesterday, failed, came back into it. If they succeed, well, here's the top of your 20-day balance. And here's the real kicker on this one. If we eventually get back up to this 294.88 level, that's last month's high. We had an inside month. So there's a real possibility with unemployment that's going to be, I don't know, what are they talking about? 16, 17%. A virus that's still not totally under control. An economy that's still basically shut down. And we have the possibility of coming out of an inside month to the upside. That's powerful stuff. NASDAQ's up for the year. So again, doesn't matter. Shut off the news. Shut off CNBC. And as day traders, just trade what's in front of us. Otherwise, you won't be long for this business. Believe me, I've learned the hard way trying to connect what I'm seeing on the screen as to what I think it should be doing because of what's happening out in the real world. Okay, let's go over destinations. So right now, I'm going to use yesterday's high because who knows what happens in the next 2 minutes. You'll be seeing it on here. But yesterday's high right now is 289.78, which would be your first upside destination. Now, let's not forget, we almost went out with a price probe. The ES went out with a price probe to the downside. That's 3 days in a row they've had a downside price probe. Rejected on Wednesday, rejected on Thursday, and right now being totally rejected on Friday. SPY didn't, but we do have a poor low. So 289.78. Above that, 292.24, that daily high. And then above that, 294.88. Monthly high. Oh, and by the way, it's a poor high. So, again, that's zero completion up there. At some point, it should get taken out. If we take that out at some point, above that, we have 295.07, which was 9 wide for March 6th, and then 298.78 daily high, and filling a gap at 300.01 for March 6th, 123-point gap. Yep, 2 months ago we were trading at 300 and went down to 218, and now we look like we're trying to get back to that level again. For the downside, if we gap higher, then it will be yesterday's high of 289.78. Then below that, remember we had nothing yesterday, right? We only ended 8 wide. I was shocked we didn't get 9 wide. We didn't have anything like that. We didn't have an afternoon pullback low. We didn't have single prints. We had nothing. And once again, here we go, 8:30. Obviously, the number came out, and look, we're rallying. So, right now, 289.78 would be your downside destination. Fill in the gap. Below that, until we get more market-generated information, nothing till yesterday's low of 287.13. which is a poor low, and then 286.41, which is a naked puck from May 6th, right? We got opened above it yesterday, looked like we might get it late in the day, never did, and here we are up here Right now we're trading at 291.92, which is my pre-market high. So I didn't even see the number. But again, what does the number matter? It doesn't, as far as I'm concerned. So what's the game plan for this morning? Well, again, right now we have a gap of about $2. So am I going to want to sell it? I do not, right? I'm not going to take a gap that big. You know how I like to play. Gap rules don't apply in all situations. I'd like to see the market pull back a bit, taper off, and then my risk reward would be better if I take a call play up here because I know my out is certainly if we fill the gap. So I would not buy a call $2 higher. $1 higher, 75 cents higher from yesterday's high, that's better risk reward for me. Do I want to take a put play here? I do not. I do not. Obviously, this high should fall. Now, where would I take a put play? I would probably take a put play somewhere in the 29th range. Why? It's a 20-day balance. Balance rules will apply. Now, at some point, you're going to come out of that balance, and the longer you're in that balance, the more volatile it will be. But I think the fact that it is that longer balance, the fact that it is an inside month, sellers may attempt to defend somewhere in this day. Once we take out the 30th high and we get into here, there's not a lot here, but I think they will try to defend it at least the first time there. So if we are to get a direct run up into this day at some point, I would take a put play, not because the market's bad, but because I think balance rules would apply and traders are going to do what's worked until it doesn't, which means selling the top of a balance. But again, I'm not there yet. I am not there yet. So, but that's what I would look for as the only put play early if we were to run up there. Call play, again, I'd like to see it come in a bit, taper off, and then maybe I would take a call play. Again, if you're in my trading room, all the new information at 9:30 and throughout the entire day is being voiced to you by me and others in the room. Okay, let's go to the charts. So we have to start with the monthly now because something very important is coming close to play, right? Inside month. We are one time framing down, but it was an inside month. Last month's high is that 294.88. You get above that, inside month up would be powerful. Look at the last one we had, right? We had one in January of 19. Came out of it, never saw the top of that month again for almost, well, until March of 20. So over a year. Okay? So it's powerful stuff. And you're above that trend line. We only spent 2 months right now where we got below it. That's not, in the biggest scheme of things, considering it's an 11-year trend line, being below it 2 months and only closing below it 1 month isn't much. Weekly. Again, we took out last week's low. We're in balance. However, we're trying to get back up and take out last week's high of 294.88. Remember, now, it's still a long way away. It's another $3, $4 away. But if by some chance this market is that strong and we closed above last week's high, that would be an outside week up. Do I expect that? No. But you always have to have it in the back of your head. More importantly, you'd be closing above that 288.52 level possibly. So even though you're in balance, the last 2 weeks we've made higher highs, and you're above that critical 287 level, at least for now. And then in the daily, here we are. Here's your 3-day balance. So you're coming out of a 3-day balance to the upside on a gap. Your next destinations are those two daily highs we just talked about, with this one being the top of an inside month. Right? 20-day balance. At some point when you come out of it, it's going to be pretty powerful. Look how choppy it's been in here. We've had gaps down. We've had gaps up. Total uncertainty in this market. Again, forget about what you read and see in the news and see what's going on in the real world. Just have to trade what the market's telling us to trade. And right now, this morning, it's telling us that they're going to attempt the top of a 20-day balance. If not today, possibly next week. Good luck trading today. Have a great day, and we'll recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.